Hi everybody, thank you for joining me today. We're going to talk about a few important things to help you really consolidate and get going on your Campanella ukulele playing. So I'm going to be referring to page numbers, so you need to have your Campanella ukulele book handy. So let's get going. So I'm going to just lower the screen so you can see what's going on here. So we're going to go to page 17, fingering on the fretboard. So we're going to be looking at the different fret zones. So we've got, starting off here, we've got frets 2 to 5. So we've got our finger 1 on fret 2, regardless of the string. Fret 3 and 4 is played with our finger 2 and our ring finger for fret 5. Now, so with the ukulele, you've got finger 1, finger 2, finger 3, finger 4. The thumb doesn't count. So if you're an ex-piano player, might be easier to think of it as index, middle, and ring. So index finger on fret 2, middle finger on frets 3 and 4, ring finger on fret 5. Okay, so what we've got here with the with what's written down in the music. So this is what we've got. So notice we've got that pointer finger there, and then the middle finger slides from in those middle 2 frets, and then we've got the ring finger on the outer fret, the 5th fret. So let's try that again together slowly over all of the strings. Over to the C string, over to the E string, over to the A string. Okay, so just while we're doing this exercise, just alternate those 2 fingers there. So your pointer and your middle fingers there. Let's go to the frets 5 to 8 range. So here we've got our first finger, our pointer finger on fret 5, our ring finger on fret 8, and then this middle finger is those 2 frets in between, frets 6 and 7. So let's give it a go, starting on the G string. Over to the C string. Over to the E string. Over to the A string. Okay. Frets 7 to 10 range. So it gets easier as you go up the neck. Okay, so we've got our first finger, our pointer finger on fret 7, our ring finger on fret 10, and the middle finger going between frets 8 and 9. Let's give it a go, starting on the G string. Okay. And lastly, we've got frets 9 to 12. So 9 to 12. So pointer finger on 9, ring finger on 12, and then this middle finger going in between. Let's give it a go, starting on the G string. So this is what's written down on page 17. Okay. Now, we're not using our pinky at this point, our little finger. The pinky or the little finger is the emergency finger. So let's say you've got a fret range 7 to 10, you're playing notes here, but then you need to reach out for a higher fret. Now this often happens. There you go, you've got that finger free. Also, if you're swapping quickly between one string and the other on the same fret, that pinky comes in handy. So you can see in the last line of music on page 17, we've got fret 7 with our first finger, fret 10 with our third finger, but then we're quickly crossing over to fret 10 on the A string. So we've got there. So that pinky comes in handy to quickly play. So I'll just play, this is bar 9. Okay, so that's where the pinky comes in handy. Likewise, if you look in on bar 10, we're in the fret 7 to 10 range, but we've got the 12 coming in. So here we've got 7, 12, 12, 12, 10, 7. So there you go. That's the reason why you've got to keep that pinky free. You've got to have that spare finger. Okay, we're now going to go to page 12, where we've got plucking exercises for melody notes. So we're using plucking with our thumb on the G string, our index finger on the C string, our middle finger on the E string, and our ring finger on the A. So each finger owns a string. Okay, so these different plucking exercises, you pluck each string only with these fingers. It's getting you used to playing irregular plucking. They're not really patterns because you're playing a melody, which it's not a standard plucking pattern. So it's just an exercise, and you can do one bar each day, and just to sort of get used to playing these strings in a different order. So for instance, bar 5, we've got okay. If you've got bar 6, you'd have okay. Bar 7, starting with that index finger, and the fingering is noted above. I, M, P, I, A, M. Okay, so P is thumb, I is index finger, M is middle finger, A is ring finger. Notice you're not using your pinky. So let's do bar 7. Okay, and so on. So just take it slowly and just get used to plucking these strings in different orders. Now there's 2 lines of thought. Some people, I let my hand just float free. There's nothing resting. I'm just holding it over the strings. Okay, some people rest their pinky down there and pluck. That's not a comfortable technique for me, so I don't do it. But if that works for you, then certainly there's many players that do that. But that's entirely up to you. Okay, let's have a look at, let me see, Pat Horgan's 2 on page 67. Now, before we start playing, we're not going to do anything until we've analysed the music. So we're just going to look at the uke 1 part. Now, we've got a whole pile of zeros, and then in bar 4, we've got 0, and then 8, 10, 8. Now, you might think, well, that's not any zone because it's just frets 8 and 10. But let's have a little bit of a look further on in the music. Do we see any more 10s and 8s? Yes, we do. In the next half of the tune, we've got fret 10, fret 7, fret 10, fret 8, and all the way through, okay, to the end of bar 13. So that lets us know that when we play bar 4, we're going to think of that as the fret 7 to 10 range, okay? So it's muscle memory. So we're getting used to putting that second finger, that middle finger, on fret 8 and our ring finger on fret 10. So that gets us in the same zone so that when we go over to bar 9 and beyond, we're already used to going up to that fret zone. Okay. Now, let's look at other notes. Oh, we've got a fret 2 in bar 6 and bar 8, and then bar 14 and 16. So we can just play our first finger there, our pointer finger there on the C string. So technically it's the 2 to 5 range, but because we've only got one note, we'll just use our pointer finger there. So let's just go over bar 4. So we've got 0, 8, 10, 8. Okay, notice I've got my second finger, my ring, my middle finger, ring finger, middle finger. Okay, that's bar 4. Let's look at bar 9. So we've got 0, 10, 10, 7. Okay, with that pointer finger back to 10, 8, 0, 0, 0. Fret 10 on the E string, fret 7 on the A string, back to the E string, fret 10, fret 7 on the E string, 8, and then we've got a whole pile of zeros, and then we just back down to fret 2 there, and then open strings. Let's take the whole thing really slowly. So I'm going to call out the fret numbers. Just when I'm not going to call out the zeros. 1 and 2 and. Eight, 10, 8. Repeat. 8, 10, 8. Two, 2. Now we're moving up the neck. 10, 10, 7, 10, 8, 0, 0, 0, 10, 10, 7, 10, 8, 0, 7, 8, 10, 8, 0, 2. 2. Repeat back to bar 9. move down, 2, okay. So the open strings, if you can see that you're going to be moving down the neck, like in bar 13, you've got 8, 10, 8. You've got a whole pile of open strings, and then the fret 2 at the end of bar 14. So you've got all those, while this hand is being busy plucking, you can move this hand down ready to then have that finger ready on that fret, on that string. Okay, let's have a look at Davy Knick-Knack on page 62. So again, before you start playing, you look at it and go, okay, and we're only looking at the uke 1 part. You look at it and go, what's the highest fret I've got? What's the lowest fret I've got? So all the way through, you can see the lowest fret is fret 5. The highest fret is fret 8. And then we've got a 6 in between. So that tells us that we're in the fret 5 to 8 range, fret range, and we're going to be having this middle finger on fret 6. Okay, so, and then we've got a whole pile of open strings. So let's give it a go, and you're just staying in that range the whole way through. Okay, so basically this first finger, this pointer finger is on fret 5, this ring finger is on fret 8, and the middle finger is on fret 6. That's their only jobs. So we're not moving around like we did before. Let's give it a go. Okay, so one thing, I've forgot to mention it before, but you need to look up into the music score for the timing of the notes. Now, if you're not sure of timing, this is where it's good just to follow along with these videos to get a sense of timing. I've got a lot of tunes on my YouTube channel as well as Facebook that you can follow along with to get the timing. Okay, so let's try it again. So from bar 1, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and so it's 5, 0, 5. Fret 8, 8, 6, 0, 6, 0, 0. 8, 6, 0, 6, 0, 0. Back to the pointer finger on fret 5. Fret 8. Okay, we're going to stop there just for a moment because we're into bar 9, which is our ring finger on fret 8. But now look at bar 10. We've got 8, 8, 8. So that you've got 2 8s on the A string and then an 8 on the E string. So this is where the pinky comes in. So you could go, okay. So rather than sort of swapping, whoop, so that chops off the sound. it sort of chops it off. Whereas if you have your pinky down there, you go. So it sort of sounds fuller. It sort of allows those notes to ring on. Okay, so make a note of that. Bar 10, fret 8 on the A string is going to be with your pinky. Okay, and you've also got that same thing happening in bar 14. So just make a note of that now. Okay, right, so starting from bar 9. Pinky. Pinky. Okay, now we're going to play it all the way through now properly. Well, like just as though we're playing it without me stopping to explain things. I want you to take note of bars that are the same. Okay, look at bar 1. It's the same as bar 2. It's the same as bar 5. Same as bar 6. Okay, so already if you start seeing patterns in music and bars that are the same as each other, it makes it easier to learn. Bars 3 and 4 are the same. Okay, which are the same as bars 11 and 12. Okay, bar 7, is that the same as bar 15? Okay, a lot of bars that are the same. Bar 9, that's the same as bar 13. Bar 10 is the same as bar 14. Bar 8 is the same as bar 16. So this is where analysing a piece of music, what fret range am I in? Are there any of the bars the same as any others? Because as soon as you start realising how much is similar, it makes it easier to learn. So we're going to play it now all the way through, now that we've had a good chance to look at it, and we're going to do the repeats. So yeah, the repeats are those sort of lines, double lines with dots. So we're going to go from bars 1 to bar 8, and then because of that repeat sign, we're going to go back to bar 1, play through to bar 8. Then we're going to bar 9. Now notice in bar 9 we've kind of got like a reverse repeat, got those dots. Take note of that. So we're on to bar 9, go all the way through to bar 16. You've got a repeat there, and then that means we're now going to repeat, but only back to bar 9 because of those dots at bar 9. So, in short, we're doing bars 1 to 8 twice and bars 9 to 16 twice. Let's give it a go. 1 and 2 and. Fret 8. Repeat. bar 9, pinky, pinky, repeat back to bar 9, pinky, So if you want to hear it played faster, just go to my YouTube channel. Hey, really good being able to support people in learning this amazing technique. And I hope you really enjoy my book, and I'll catch you soon. You take care and have a good day. Bye.